Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. The January 16th, 2026 meeting of the Medford Site Plan and Architectural Commission will now come to order. Amanda, can we have roll call, please?
Yes, you may. Marcy Pierce. Jeff Bender.
Here.
Bill Camiller. Bob Niehammer. Jim Akery.
Here.
Elle Powell.
Present.
Jeff Thomas.
Here.
Rick Whitlock.
Here.
We have 5 present.
Thank you. We have a quorum. We'll move forward. Item 20 is our consent calendar, and there's no items on there. Item 30 is approval of the minutes from the December 19th, 2026 meeting. Are there any additions or corrections to be noted? All right, hearing none, the minutes will stand as submitted. Item number 40 is oral requests and communications from the audience. This is an opportunity for members of the audience to address the commission on matters that are not on today's agenda. If you wish to speak, please come forward to the podium, sign in, tell us your name and your concern. All right. With no one coming forward, we'll move on to item number 50, public hearings. If you plan to testify, please listen carefully to the following prepared statement regarding the procedural rules that govern such a hearing. Statement will be read by David Schambach, Senior Assistant City Attorney.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Before the hearing begins, city staff will give a report. The report will list the criteria that govern the city's decision. After the staff report, the hearing will be open for other speakers. The applicant will speak first and may ask for rebuttal time. Following the applicant, any other interested person will be allowed to speak. Before the hearing is closed, anyone who needs more time to present evidence must ask for more time. If you ask, the hearing will be continued or the record will be kept open, and you will have at least 7 days to present additional written evidence. Any testimony, argument, or evidence you give must relate to the criteria listed in the staff report or other criteria in the comprehensive plan or land use regulations that you believe apply to the decision. If you fail to raise an issue or do not give the commission sufficient information so that the commission and any party can respond, you will not be able to appeal that issue to the Land Use Board of Appeals. If you do not raise constitutional or other issues about any proposed condition with specificity so that the commission can respond to that issue, you will not be able to bring a court action for damages.
Thank you, Mr. Schambach. Let's see. Just looking at the agenda here. Sorry, I forgot one point of business. In order to proceed through this afternoon's agenda in a timely manner, except at the Commission's request, applicants giving testimony will be given 10 minutes to present their application. Individuals having comments about these applications will be given 3 minutes or 5 minutes if representing a group or organization, and 5 minutes will be given to the applicant for rebuttal. So item 50.1 AC-25-353 is consideration of plans for a semi-permanent pod development.
Mr. Chair,
sorry.
Excuse me for interrupting, but in the past several meetings when we've addressed this issue, we've handled all 3 of these applications, 50.1, 50.2, and 50.3 as a single item, and then held votes separately. Is that our intention today?
50.1 is the pod development.
Oh, I'm sorry.
50.2
My apologies.
And 50.3 will handle.
My apologies, Mr. Chair.
Absolutely. Thank you, Commissioner. With that, I'll go ahead and reread this. 50.1 is AC-25-353, which is consideration of plans for a semi-permanent pod development on one parcel totaling approximately 0.14 acres in size within the CSP commercial and professional offices zoning district located at 719 Bennett Avenue. The applicant and agent is Susan Craven, planner is Stefan Roenfeld. The applicant has requested to continue this item indefinitely. Could I get a motion on this item, please? Commissioner Whitlock?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd move that this matter be continued and that there be no specific date or time indicated.
Thank you.
I'll second.
I have a motion. Do you have comments?
The indefinitely, there is a 2 year, is it 2 years? There is an expiration, right?
There's a statutory requirement for 120 days, is that correct?
So the applicant, if I might, Mr. Chair. So
Yes,
I'm
please.
Kelly Aiken with your planning department. The statutory limitation, well, under the statute, the applicant can extend their application 245 days. So what will happen with this indefinite extension is that we will have to renotice when they're ready, but we'll be mindful of the clock.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. With that, we have motion on the floor. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Thank you. Amanda, could we have roll call, please?
Yes, Jeff Thomas,
Yes.
Elle Powell,
Yes.
Jim Akery,
Yes.
Rick Whitlock,
Yes.
Jeff Bender.
Yes.
We have 5 yeses.
Thank you. Moving on, we're going to, at this time, hear testimony on items 50.2 and 50.3, which are AC-25-190 and AC-25-191. Consideration of plans for the construction of 13 multifamily structures on approximately 12.5 acres. The first development under 50.2 is called Hyatt Park Phase 1A and is located south of Coal Mine Road and east of North Phoenix Road within the CC or Community Commercial Zoning District. The applicant is Ramzi Fakuri. The second item under this discussion will be item 50.3, which is AC-25-191, which again is consideration of plans for the construction of 13 multifamily structures on approximately 12.09 acres. The development is called Hyatt Park Phase 1B, located south of Coal Mine Road and approximately 750 feet east of North Phoenix Road. This part of the application is within MFR 30. Applicant here is John Batala, and in both cases, the agent is Daniel Horton, and the planner is Stefan Roenfeld. Before we have staff report, are there any members of the commission that may have had ex parte contact or may have any potential conflicts on this item? All right, with that, could we have the roll call? Or, sorry. I'm on a roll.
Mr. Bender.
Staff report, please.
Yes, of course.
Thank
Stefan
you, Stefan.
Roenfeld with the planning department. And I have prepared one PowerPoint for both of the AC projects. It's kind of a mix of what we already went over. It's the third time I believe this is in front of you. So I'm keeping it relatively short and we'll focus on what changed from the last time. And then, yes, and the exception request that used to be associated with this, I think it's 50.4, 3, 2, 3, yeah, 50.4. That has been withdrawn with the proposed changes to the site plan. That one is not required anymore.
Thank you.
So you can strike that off the agenda for today. So as always, we start with the legal criteria for this project. Can be found in section 10.200 sub 5 sub B of the Medford Land Development Code. And all of the criteria have been addressed in the staff report and they have been met. You are the approval authority for this kind of, for type 3 quasi-judicial decision. And we move on to where we are. So south of East Medford, southeast Medford, south of Coal Mine Road, east of North Phoenix, and just across the street from the Centennial Golf Course, that is. About looking at 22 acres, little bigger for both of those projects. Surrounding side, we got some single-family residential development to the north, and then some agricultural lower density uses to the east. As I said, golf course to the west, and then pretty much vacant land to the south. We have a mix of commercial and urban high-density residential general land use plan map designations for the two sites. The zoning that is out there matches the club map designation, so we have community commercial on the west side. We got MFR 30 on the east side. As you know, in Medford, community commercial or all commercial zones allow for residential development, which the applicant is taking advantage of for this project. The site was annexed in 2020, Ordinance 2020-123, and subsequently City Council adopted a urbanization plan for the entire expansion area that was about 75 acres. And you can see here, that's pretty much what the current club map designations are based on. So again, multifamily on the east and then commercial on the west side. Zoning, like I said, matches that. So we had a zone change in 2022 to get from the SFR 00 holding zone to the MFR 30. And then a year later, 2023, we had a zone change to community commercial on the west side. You should have received 4 new exhibits since we published the staff report. We got each a revised fire report, fire department report, and Medford Water Commission report reflecting the proposed changes in the site plan. And then, like I said, the exception has been withdrawn by the applicant. So again, on the west side is AC 25-190. On the east side, AC 25-191. We got 248 units for application 190 and 242 units for 191, so a total of 490 dwelling units proposed. So what's new? You can see the old site plan for AC 25-190 on the left side. We can see the new one and go over the big changes. So with the old version, we had that hammerhead proposed at the quarter lane and Coal Mine Road intersection. We had a street going through north to south, connecting from Coal Mine Road to the proposed First Street, which is that arrow at the bottom there. And then First Street just dead end at the MID canal that is out there. So with the new version, we got First Street connecting all the way out to North Phoenix Road. We got the 2 internal streets just dead end. They won't connect to Coal Mine Road anymore. And we got a change to the Coal Mine Road and Quarter Lane Road intersection, which we can go over here. So pretty much what that proposal does, it will prevent northbound, southbound traffic from Quarter Lane onto the new development with a median in the middle. It'll still allow for through movement east to west, so you can get into the development, but you can't get out using Quarter Lane. So you can either make a left turn to use Coal Mine Road to get to North Phoenix over here, or you go south and then use the new First Street connection to North Phoenix Road. The intersection at Coal Mine Road and North Phoenix Road, I don't think that has changed a whole lot. So we got a right in, right out from North Phoenix. There's going to be a median on North Phoenix to prevent full movement, to prevent a left turn going south, or coming in going southbound towards Phoenix. And then with the First Street connection that is now new, this will be full movement. There is, I think it's only going to be stop controlled. So there's only going to be a stop sign at First Street coming out onto North Phoenix Road. So full movement, like I said. So how did we get there? The applicant did ask an expert for a limited traffic study, studying that proposed new connection, First Street to North Phoenix Road. And the study assumed that about 80% of all assumed traffic will use that new intersection. So that'll take quite a bit of traffic off of the Coal Mine Road and North Phoenix Road intersection, which what we heard was one of the biggest issues by the neighbors over the last two hearings. And there's two proposed recommendations that came out of TIA that having to do with left turn or turn bays onto North Phoenix Road. Elevations, so nothing changed there. Pretty standard multifamily development. We did go over the multifamily design standards. They've all been addressed in detail in the staff report, and they have all been met. Should there be, we'll look at if there's minor changes to setbacks or lot coverage. We'll look at all that once the building permit comes in. So it's for now it's all been addressed. It's all been met, but things change to sometimes a little less, sometimes a little more. But we'll look at it again once the building permits come in. So again, back to the criteria. The commission can find that all of the applicable criteria either met or are not applicable. And so we got two recommended actions since it's two separate applications. We got two actions, and that is for both of them to direct staff to prepare the final order for approval. In this case for AC 25-190, and it's per the staff report from January 9th, and that's including exhibits A1 through N, and including the two revised staff reports, and then the same one for AC 25-191. And with that, if you got any questions, thank you.
Thank you, Stefan. Any questions for staff? Commissioner Powell?
Can you just, excuse me, can you just put up the map, like the old versus the new? It looks great. I just want to look at it a little more in detail.
This one.
Thank you.
Is that good? Commissioner Whitlock, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. First of all, in the staff report discussing the public street layouts, I just want to make sure I understand this. It appears that the narrative is different than what's been proposed. If you look at the record, page 22 and record 237, it says all three streets will connect Coal Mine Road to the north and a new east-west connection. And there's really now only two streets that connect
Yes,
to Coal Mine Road, correct?
Probably missed the strike-through version
okay.
on that one.
Yeah.
That's correct.
And then the other thing I wanted to ask you is, can you go back either to the description of the intersection, the physical description of the First Street intersection, or the narrative from the updated traffic study? Is that a dedicated right turn lane northbound onto First Street from North Phoenix? Or is it as designated both a through and a right turn? It looks like it's dedicated.
I believe it's dedicated, which, I'll check real quick.
Pardon?
Let me check real quick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks.
Or do you know that? It's supposed to be dedicated.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the arrow in this visual description, the one showing the through traffic is not really accurate.
This should really only be a right turn arrow.
Right turn
Yeah.
only, okay. Just want to make sure I understood.
Yep.
Thank you. That concludes my questions, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Whitlock. Any other questions for staff at this time? Yeah. All right. Thanks, Stefan.
Thank you.
With that, we'll move forward. The public hearing is still open from our previous meetings, but with that, I would invite the applicant's agent to come forward at this time.
Good afternoon, Dan Horton, agent for Haya Park. Stefan covered all the high points well. Basically, the project was designed to conform to all the clear and objective standards of Medford Code 10.715. And we feel that the changes that we made and the time that it took are worth it. We like this connection back out to North Phoenix Road, North Phoenix Road. Really improved the project, so we ask for your approval.
Thank you, Mr. Horton. Any questions of the applicant's agent at this time? Go on, Commissioner Whitlock, please.
Mr. Chair, really not a question, but a comment. I did want to express my personal thanks to the applicant for the flexibility in looking at this option. I think I agree with you. It greatly improves the project to have that First Street access to North Phoenix at the south end of the project.
Yep.
I think it routes the traffic appropriately that's being generated by this development. So again, my appreciation and thanks to the applicant for agreeing to that solution.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Whitlock. Any other questions for the applicant's agent? All right. Thank you, Mr.
Thank
Horton.
you.
We'll reserve time for rebuttal,
Yep.
should it be necessary.
Yeah, please. Thanks.
Thank you. With that, as I mentioned, the public hearing is still open, and I would invite anybody in the audience that is here to speak on either 50.2 or 50.3 to come forward at this time. Anyone? Anything further? All right. With that, I'd like to go ahead and close the public hearing. And is it best that we just read the approvals and just do each one separately, or can we do them both at the same time?
I prefer separate, please.
Okay. So with that, great. So for AC-25-190, we would like, could I get a motion on the first item, Commissioner Whitlock?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would move that the commission adopt the findings as recommended by staff and direct staff to prepare the final order for approval of AC-25-190 per the staff report dated January 9, 2026, including exhibits A1 through NN and the revised Medford Water Exhibit J1 and Medford Fire Department Exhibit K2 reports.
Thank you. I have a motion. Do I have a second? Anyone?
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Thomas. Any further discussion on the item? All right. Could we have roll call, please?
Jeff Bender,
Yes.
L. Powell,
Yes.
Jeff Thomas,
Yes.
Rick Whitlock,
Yes.
Jim Akery.
Yes.
We have 5 yeses.
Thank you. And now on to item 50.3. Could I get a motion on that item, please?
Mr.
Commissioner
Chair, I
Whitlock.
would move the commission adopt the findings as recommended by staff and direct staff to prepare the final order for approval of AC-25-191 per the staff report dated January 9, 2026, including exhibits A1 through NN and the revised Medford Water Exhibit K1 and Medford Fire Exhibit L2 reports.
Great. Could I have a second, please?
Second. Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Thomas. We have a second. Any further discussion on the item? All right. Could we have roll call, please?
Jim Akery,
Yes.
L. Powell,
Yes.
Jeff Thomas,
Yes.
Rick Whitlock,
Yes.
Jeff Bender.
Yes.
We have 5 yeses.
And the motion passes. Thank you, everybody. Just for consistency's sake, on item 50.4 is E-25-324. That item, it has been withdrawn. So that leads us to item 50.5, which is AC-25-373, which is consideration of a request for Tractor Supply Medford, a commercial development consisting of a 21,390 square foot Tractor Supply store building and a 20,000 square foot display and parking area located within the Coker Butte Business Planned Unit Development. The site consists of a single vacant parcel totaling approximately 2.96 acres or 3.67 gross acres. The parcel is located at the northwest corner of Coker Butte Road and Crater Lake Avenue. The address is 4209 Crater Lake Avenue, and it is within the light industrial zoning district and includes a and RZ or restricted zoning administrative mapping overlay. The applicant is the Atwater Group, the agent PE Welking Engineering, and the planner is Dustin Sievers. Does any commissioner have any conflict of interest or ex parte contact to disclose regarding this application? Anyone? Hearing none? Does anyone in attendance wish to question the commission as to any potential conflicts of interest or ex parte contact? All right, with that, we'll move forward. Mr. Sievers, can we have the staff report, please?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. Good evening, or good afternoon, Commissioners. Dustin Sievers with the Planning Department. Next up, we have the Tractor Supply Store. This is file number AC 25-373. You have one new exhibit that we forwarded over to you this morning by email. This is a revised or updated staff report from the Public Works Department. It's Exhibit N1 replacing Exhibit N. And this is related to the trip accounting. So when we published staff report last week, the trip accounting review by the Public Works wasn't quite completed. We anticipated it would be done before the hearing, so we went ahead and moved forward with it. So we did receive the additional information we needed, so the trip accounting issue has been resolved. As shown in the staff report from Public Works, there is a 415 PM peak hour trips, and this one is well below that threshold as we anticipated. So moving along, let's begin by looking at the project summary. So the site consists of a single vacant parcel. It totals approximately 2.96 acres. You can see on the vicinity map is located in the northwest corner of Coker Butte Road and Crater Lake Avenue. These are both higher order streets. Crater Lake Avenue runs along the easterly boundary. It is, has a classification of a major collector, while Coker Butte along the south boundary is a major arterial street. Here's an image of the site looking in the corner of Coker Butte and Crater Lake Avenue. You can see that all the public improvements have been done along the street. We have sidewalks, street lights, have a bike lane, curb and gutter. So all the street improvements have been completed along the site's frontages. Site's general land use plan designation is commercial. Its underlying zoning is light industrial, which is not compatible with the commercial GLUB. However, I will explain how this was approved with the previous PUD from 2017. I'll get to that in a few slides. Also, a couple overlays associated with the site. The property, again, the property is part of a planned unit development. It's also has a restricted zoning. You can see the restricted zoning overlay over this site as well as the adjoining parcel, and it has to do with that trip accounting. So we're continuing to get trip accountings from each individual developer as they fill out this Coker Butte Business Park. So again, it's part of the Coker Butte Business Park PUD, which was approved back in 2017. And this will be the first development as part of the PUD. There's some existing storages done to the east, and there's also an existing building to the south, but this would be the first development since the PUD was approved. And that development is for a Tractor Supply store, roughly 22,000 square feet for the building, and also you have a parking area as well as the outdoor display area. Looking at our issues and analysis. So first, look at the history of the Coker Butte PUD. So this was originally approved in 2017. So they were approved for a couple of unique items. So what isn't unique, they were approved for 20% of the PUD to be approved for uses not permitted in the underlying zone. That would apply to this property, which is retail. So they'll be tapping out that 20% with this development. They were also approved to have all uses in the commercial zones be allowed to occupy that 20%, and they were also approved at that time for the conditional use. The code requires if you do a use that's not permitted in the underlying zone, if it's within 200 feet of the boundary of the PUD, they also have to get approval for the CUP criteria. So they actually knocked that out with the PUD back in 2017. So we had a major revision in both 2020 and 2022. They added some phases to it and also kind of changed the configuration of the buildings and the locations of the building. Both the final plat and the final PUD was approved in 2025, so there's also a subdivision called the PNW subdivision, which basically mirrors the PUD. Again, those were both approved last year. And finally, there's a property line adjustment done to that final plat or the subdivision in 2025, which gives the property its current configuration. Again, this is the first development in the PUD, and then again, this is a Tractor Supply. The closest Tractor Supply store is in Grants Pass. This is an image of that building. I can see their website states they do farm supplies, livestock feed, pet food, gardening supplies, lawn care equipment. They also have some retail as far as clothing. I say the closest use we have in Medford would probably be the Grange Co-op in South Medford, very similar type of use. Look at the site plan. The commission can find that the proposed building meets all the bulk standards of the code in terms of the height, lot coverage, and setbacks. Trash enclosure is shown at the northeast corner of the building, and the applicant's elevation plan shows that trash enclosure meeting all our design standards for trash enclosures. We have 3 access points off the northerly driveway of the development. And go back to this. So on top of the screen, it does point out a discretionary condition by the Public Works Department. It has to do with delivery trucks coming off of or utilizing this essentially this alley driveway on the east side of it. They want to kind of restrict the movements so there's no congestion issues off of Crater Lake Avenue. And so delivery trucks, I think, I'm assuming they'd have to come through this driveway and then loop around. I'll allow Mr. Burrows from Public Works Department to elaborate if you have additional questions about that particular condition. And moving along, so looking at parking next. So they are proposing 81 parking spaces, which falls within the minimum maximum required. And they also show bicycle spacing to the south of development with a crosswalk across the driveway, which makes a great connection for the bike lane, which currently runs along the north side of Coker Butte Road. Next, we're looking at landscaping. So they're required to provide frontage landscaping. They do so along both street frontages, Coker Butte Road and Crater Lake Avenue. And since they're proposing greater than 24 spaces, they're also required to provide parking area planters, and landscape plan shows them meeting those requirements. And also, since they're over 1/2 acre, they're also required to meet our new large parking lot design standards. And since they are showing landscaping along each of the 2 driveways, they do meet that requirement. Next, we'll look at the elevation plan. So the front, here's the front of the building, the entrance. It actually faces away from the 2 public streets. So we did work with the applicant from the original submittal to kind of beef up their architecture, and since they are going to have the side and the rear elevations facing 2 public streets. So they did provide additional articulation columns. They add some signs as well. So staff is, we're happy with what the final product, what the elevation plans look like. And finally, let's bring us to pedestrian connectivity. So as illustrated on our little diagram here, blue represents the existing sidewalk, which I show in the image earlier. It's already existing. The red shows the pedestrian walkway proposed on the site plan. And the orange shows the additional pedestrian walkways that staff feels like they need to provide in order to meet the code requirements per section 10.773. So looking at the larger PUD plan, there are driveway connectivity throughout the development on both the west and north side of the subject site. The aerial views we showed earlier are a little outdated. They've actually I believe these have all been built out since this time. I know the north side was the first to be built out, and we did require if you recall, 7-Eleven was approved by this body last year, and we do require sidewalks along there. There's also sidewalks shown on the west side of the driveway. So we'd like to see the applicant with this plan to continue that pattern. Yes, here's an image. Again, this is outdated. I believe this has all been built out. The applicant may be able to speak to further to that. We do have these driveways ready to go and ready to install the pedestrian walkways. So I did speak with the Ackland's agent this morning, and they just said there are some topographic issues that may make this area not ideal to put the pedestrian walkway. They did mention that perhaps they could put it on the west side and make a connection somewhere at the midpoint. I think that's fine. I don't think we would need to modify our condition of approval. It simply states that they have to provide a network that meets 10.772.10.2 section 7.776. Good Lord. So we will work. So we will work with the applicant to make sure they do meet those standards. We do think it's really important to have pedestrian walkway connectivity out there. Whether or not the Coker Butte Business Park is going to be a pedestrian-oriented area, we don't know, because we don't know what's going on out there. Light industrial does allow for a lot of commercial uses, including restaurants. So may see a lot of pedestrian walkways or pedestrian activity out there. We just don't really know, but we'd like to be prepared just in case. So with that, we recommend that you adopt the findings as recommended by staff, and we ask you to adopt the final order for approval of AC 25-373, and that's per the staff report dated January 9th, 2026. That includes exhibits A1 through 6, including exhibits N1, which will replace exhibit N. A1 is simply be switching out the conditions that states that referring to exhibit N1 instead of exhibit N. And with that, I can take questions. We also have the applicant's agents here to answer any questions. Also, I have Mr. Doug Burrows from the Public Works Department. We even have our fire marshal here as well, so maybe have questions for him. But that's it. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Dustin. Any questions for staff at this time? Commissioner Whitlock.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. These are really more, I guess, observations I had about discrepancies between the applicant's version of things and staff's version. So looking in the record at 475, the applicant asserts that the tree canopy plan is not applicable since the PUD was approved in 2022. I'm not even sure what that means, because I'm not sure what that's a reference to, but.
Yeah, we did have the discussion with the applicant. It was determined that that's not correct. It would be applicable to them. So because they did have a plan, a larger landscape, which was very, very conceptual at that time. So we feel like it is applicable to each individual development within the PUD.
Great. And if I may continue,
Yes,
Mr.
please.
Chair, you reference the parking at record 448 as 81, and the applicant's description is 74. Do you have any idea what that discrepancy is about?
Sometimes they don't include the accessible spaces in the total, and we do. So that was probably the discrepancy is 1, 2,
accessible
3,
spaces?
4. Count 4 there, and
It's a discrepancy of 7, which it.
maybe it's these larger ones. They didn't include 2
And
possibly.
it really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
From my perspective, 81 is the correct number.
Yes.
The number. And then a similar thing with respect to the bike spaces. The applicant in the record at page 511 says there are 16 bike spaces approved, and you indicate there are 8.
I'm seeing, unless they can correct me, is I see 4, just these 4 racks, which typically be 8 total. Unless there's some another area where I'm not seeing on their site plans, I'll defer to the applicant on that one. But 8 will satisfy the requirement.
That's what I thought. Anyway, I think none of my observations are critical. I just wanted to make sure the applicant was aware that staff's calculations are, in some cases, significantly different than what they were asserting. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner Whitlock. Any other questions for staff at this time?
I don't have a
Commissioner
question.
Powell?
I don't have a question, but I'm usually really nitpicky about parking, and I really like this parking in and out. So.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? All right, thank you, Dustin.
Thank you.
With that, we'll move on and open the public hearing with the applicant or applicant's agent to speak first, please.
Good afternoon, Mr. Commissioner and Commission. Ed Christensen, Welkin Engineering, 25260 Southwest Parkway Avenue, Suite G in Wilsonville, Oregon. And we've been doing a number of Tractor Supply stores across Oregon. This is one of the nicer sites, and we really look forward to being a part of the community. They are looking forward to being a part of your community. And from what I've heard, a lot of people are very excited about Tractor Supply coming in. It's a really wonderful store. This site has been completely surrounded with all the public improvements. The PUD has installed all the on-site improvements required to facilitate the development of the store, including stormwater. They put in a community stormwater detention, water quality facility that I've checked with the site development engineer. We're correctly connecting to it. We've worked with the fire department to show how we can get the fire trucks in and around the site. They are actually they really liked the exhibit that we put together. As far as the other elements, we have a really hard time, as you can see on our site plan, there's a dashed line along the west side of the entrance driveway off of Coker Butte, and then a dashed line going up Coker Butte towards the front of the store along the right-of-way lines, along the driveways. Those are retaining walls. The site doesn't look like it has that much slope to it, but it's got about 8 feet of fall. And when you have approximately 60% of the site being flat for the store and the outdoor display area, it causes quite a discrepancy by the time we get to the western end of the parking lot and the outdoor display area between the existing grade of the new driveway that was just installed and our parking lot. It's about a 6 foot difference. And so with that, we would like to work with the Coker Butte developer to put a sidewalk on the west side of the entry driveway off of Coker Butte, because we just don't have, we're grading right to the back of curb on our western front. And I don't think that will be a problem. And I come from Lake Oswego, where we don't have sidewalks anywhere. It's just not a part of the community pretty much. But I understand pedestrian connections are very important, and we're willing to do it. We'd just like to have, we'll put the sidewalk on the north side of our outdoor display area down to the intersection for the driveway with Coker Butte, and then we'd like to cross the driveway and have the sidewalk on the west side of that driveway versus both sides of the driveway. As far as the parking numbers and the bike rack location and the number of bike racks, we will follow the staff report and have them installed according to the staff report. I don't
Is
have
that the
anything more.
conclusion of your presentation?
Pardon me?
I'm sorry, are you concluded with your presentation?
I'm concluded with my presentation.
All right. Are there any questions of the applicant's agent? Commissioner Whitlock?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just want to make sure that you were comfortable with the Public Works restriction on the use of that easterly driveway alley sort of thing, restricting, I should say, preventing access by delivery trucks.
Yeah, we don't, literally, Tractor Supply sets up their delivery trucks well ahead of time before the store opens, and they are taught how to access the site and drive through it. And in this case, they will access the western driveway off of the east-west connection to Crater Lake, and then come through the back of the store and then exit out, probably turning, I think our plan shows that they're going to turn left and then come back out and around to Coker Butte. Now, our fire department access plan I show that the fire department can get off of Crater Lake and come into that back loading dock area, but they can also come around the front of the store and then get all the way around the building. And I used larger turning radiuses than they require.
Commissioner Whitlock, anything further?
No, thank you.
right.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any further questions? All right, seeing none, we'll reserve time for rebuttal should it become necessary. Thank you. Is there anybody in the audience that would like to come forward and speak on this item? All right, seeing no one and with no rebuttal, we will go ahead and close the public hearing. And I would love to entertain a motion on this item. Anyone? Commissioner Whitlock.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move that the commission adopt the findings as recommended by staff and adopt the final order for approval of AC-23-373 per the staff report dated January 9, 2026, including exhibits A1 through S and exhibit N1, which replaces exhibit N.
Thank you. I have a motion and a second. Do I have a second? Anyone?
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Thomas. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion on the item? All right. Could we have roll call, please?
Rick Whitlock,
Yes.
Jeff Bender,
Yes.
Jeff Thomas,
Yes.
Elle Powell,
Yes.
and Jim Akery.
Yes.
We have 5 yeses.
Very good. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. With that, that will conclude today's public hearings. We'll move on to item number 60, which is written communications. We have none. Item number 70 is new business. Again, we have none. And that brings us to item number 80, which is report from the planning department.
All right, well, good afternoon, commissioners. You're all spread out today. It's kind of weird. It's like having these empty spots. So I'm Kelly Aiken with your planning department. First, I wanted to say thank you. Commissioner Whitlock, you did a nice job of thanking Mr. Horton for the work that happened on Hyatt Park. I thank you as well, commissioners, because that was a difficult application to work through. You had some interesting hearings, and that's not always easy to work through. So thank you for your time and your effort on that. A reminder, next week, next Thursday, the 22nd at noon, we have our boards and commission luncheon out of the Rogue X. Please remember to attend. Upcoming meetings, I don't have any business scheduled for you for February, so you're going to have a couple bye weeks. One thing that is coming up for us, I think I may have shared this with you at your last meeting, but we're going to have some training from our Human Resources Department coming up on a respectful workplace. I got to sit through it yesterday. It's about an hour long. There's some interesting videos going on. I'm not sure if it will be the same for you, but we all are expected to attend, all our volunteers, council, commissioners, everybody. So all the staff. So we are not something that really we want to do in an open meeting, so we'll have it as in the study session form. I'm trying real hard to see about doing a joint session for our 3 land use bodies, so we'll keep an eye out for that one. So that's coming up. I don't have a whole heck of a lot else for you, unless you have questions for me.
Anyone? Commissioner Whitlock?
Again, not really a question, but I did want to note for the record, I understand this is Mr. Needhammer's last meeting. Is that correct?
You are correct. I was thinking I had one more meeting in January, but you are correct.
And so I
And
just
Mr.
wanted to
Akery's, I
extend
believe,
my
as well.
personal thanks to Commissioner Needhammer for his service on this commission. I think he told me like 16 years or something like that, so quite an extensive period of time that he served the community in this role. And I, for one, will miss his professionalism and his frank and honest comments that he often provided when he thought necessary. So again, my thanks to Commissioner Needhammer for his service.
Thank you, Commissioner Whitlock. I would extend that thank you as well. I think Bob and I joined the commission at just about the same time. Maybe a meeting or two between two of us.
Well, I'm
And-
bummed he's not here for the
Yeah.
last meeting.
And I think we have similar comments from Mr. Akery unless you reapplied.
Wait, it's your last meeting too?
Well, many thanks to you too as well, Mr.
Yes.
Akery. How many years did you serve? You, just 4? And that was enough? 30, it feels like 30.
I remember when you joined. Wow, I've been here longer than I thought.
Again, thank you also.
Yeah.
Commissioner Akery,
thank
For
you.
your time.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Akery. Are you in one of the designated professional slots? Contractor, that's what I thought, anyway. Yeah, thank you as well. I wasn't aware that you were not going to be here next time, so thank you for everything that you've provided.
So, with that, are we are eliminating some seats too, correct?
That's correct.
So will those 2 positions be filled, or are those, or the at-larges? I don't remember how it was going.
So what the council did, they eliminated, remember, the landscape professional
Correct.
requirement, so that went to an at-large position. So we still had 9. That position has not been filled, so we have an at-large vacancy. And then Mr. Needhammer is an at-large position, so we don't have any vacancies except for,
The
thanks to
contract.
Mr. Akery, the contractor position. So there will still be a vacancy. We'll be down to 7 starting in February with our next cycle. Remember, usually February, first meeting in February, we elect officers, so our chair, vice chair. So we'll put that on the agenda when we have business, unless you want to come in to elect officers. I don't want to waste your time.
Catch up, probably, right,
Right.
everybody?
So just keep an eye out for us for business. But truly, so thank you, Mr. Akery, for your service. I really appreciate
Yeah,
you.
thank you.
Again.
All right. That's all that I
Thank
think,
you, Joan.
and thank you, Mr. Whitlock. I was thinking I had one more meeting this month. I do not. So thank you.
All right. Excuse me. Sorry, that brings us to messages and papers from the chair. I have nothing to add today. Item number 100, propositions and remarks from the commission. Anyone? All right. That's 110 is adjournment, and we are adjourned. That was shrill.